Bulgaria stands as one of Eastern Europe's most intriguing nations, where ancient Balkan traditions intersect with modern European Union membership in ways that would astonish most Western visitors. This southeastern European country, bordered by Romania, Serbia, North Macedonia, Greece and Turkey, harbors cultural practices that challenge contemporary assumptions about life within the European community. Nestled between the Danube River and the Aegean Sea, Bulgaria boasts stunning mountain ranges, Black Sea coastlines, and a heritage spanning Thracian civilizations, Byzantine empires, and Ottoman rule. Since joining the European Union in 2007, Bulgaria has theoretically aligned itself with Western democratic values and human rights standards that define European identity. However, beneath this veneer of European integration lies a fascinating cultural reality that few outsiders comprehend. In the city of Stara Zagora, every first Saturday of March during the Orthodox celebration of Todorovdan, something extraordinary occurs that defies typical European social norms and expectations about modern relationships. Quick reminder before we dive deeper, YouTube occasionally removes subscriptions without warning. Please check your subscription status and hit the like button now. This greatly supports our channel and ensures you receive our upcoming cultural investigations. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section. This remarkable event involves approximately 18,000 members of the Kalidzi community, a distinct Roma subgroup traditionally known as coppersmiths and metalworkers. For generations, they have maintained matrimonial customs that include elaborate family negotiations, where prospective grooms' families compensate brides' families with substantial monetary payments as integral components of marriage arrangements. During this annual gathering, teenage girls between 13 and 20 years old dress in elaborate outfits featuring bright makeup, golden jewelry, and eye-catching clothing designed to highlight their natural beauty. Their families accompany them through this social process that potentially leads to marriage negotiations, ranging from 5,000 to 30,000 euros, depending on various culturally specific criteria. What makes this experience particularly unique is how it seamlessly blends community celebration with ancestral matrimonial traditions. Throughout the day, families dance to Roma pop music, share traditional meals, and participate in festivities that strengthen communal bonds. Simultaneously, young people have supervised opportunities to meet and establish connections that might develop into arranged marriages. While external observers might find these practices challenging to understand within contemporary European contexts, Kalidzi families view them as fundamental traditions that preserve community cohesion, ensure cultural continuity, and provide economic security within a society that frequently marginalizes their ethnic minority. Virginity plays a crucial role in these negotiations, alongside physical characteristics, including fair skin, blonde hair, and blue eyes, which traditionally command higher valuations according to community aesthetic preferences and cultural standards. Understanding life in Bulgaria, particularly within Kalidzi communities, requires appreciating how historical migrations, economic pressures, and cultural preservation intersect to create unique social experiences that persist despite European modernization efforts. Exploring life within Bulgarian Kalidzi communities requires understanding the historical journey and cultural development that shaped these distinctive matrimonial practices across centuries of European transformation and social evolution. The Kalidzi belong to the broader Roma ethnic group that migrated from the Indian subcontinent towards southeastern Europe between the 12th and 14th centuries, establishing permanent settlements throughout the Balkans during Ottoman imperial expansion. Their specialization in metalworking, particularly copper vessel manufacturing and repair, provided their distinctive name and professional identity across generations. Roma integration within Bulgarian society has historically involved complex dynamics, featuring periods of relative tolerance under Ottoman multicultural policies, followed by marginalization during Bulgarian national state construction. Communist authorities later implemented forced assimilation policies that prohibited Roma cultural expressions and mandated sedentarization of traditionally nomadic groups. Bulgaria's democratization in 1989 restored cultural freedoms, but simultaneously intensified certain discrimination patterns. According to official 2011 census data, only 4.4% of Bulgaria's population identifies as Roma, though independent research suggests significantly higher figures due to identity concealment motivated by social prejudice. Contemporary Kalidzi communities face considerable socio-economic challenges. Their traditional copper repair profession virtually disappeared, with cheap manufactured imports and household modernization throughout Bulgaria. This economic transformation forced many families to seek alternative employment in construction, agriculture, or services, often in other Bulgarian regions or European countries. Employment discrimination presents significant obstacles to economic integration. Between 59% and 80% of non-Roma Bulgarians express negative feelings toward Roma communities, creating systematic exclusion from formal labor markets and limiting opportunities for upward social mobility. Within this marginalization context, matrimonial traditions evolved as community survival mechanisms. Marriage negotiations not only preserve group endogamy and cultural identity, but also provide crucial economic resources for families with limited access to formal employment or government social assistance programs. Educational systems present additional challenges. Many Kalidzi families withdraw daughters from school during adolescence, citing concerns about cultural tradition, preservation, and preparation for future domestic roles. This has produced problematic literacy rates. Only 10% of Bulgarian Roma women completed secondary education, while 1 in 5 remains completely illiterate. Geographic factors also influence tradition persistence. Stara Zagora emerged as a central hub due to its strategic location in Thrace, historically populated by Roma communities. The city provides adequate urban infrastructure for large annual gatherings, while maintaining distance from political power centers where government surveillance might be more intensive. Regional economic conditions further shaped these practices. Thrace remains among Bulgaria's poorest regions, with limited industrial development and high unemployment rates affecting both Roma and non-Roma populations. Economic desperation has intensified reliance on traditional survival strategies, including matrimonial negotiations that provide immediate financial relief. European Union integration created both opportunities and pressures for cultural adaptation. While EU membership theoretically provides non-discrimination protections and development funding, practical implementation has been limited, leaving many Roma communities dependent on traditional economic strategies. This combination of historical, economic, social, and geographic factors created unique conditions where ancestral traditions coexist with European contemporary realities, generating distinctive cultural experiences that characterize life within certain Bulgarian communities and distinguish them from mainstream European social patterns. First characteristic, the practical operation of Kalidzi matrimonial markets reveals sophisticated social systems combining ancestral traditions with contemporary adaptations, creating unique cultural experiences within modern European contexts. Festival preparations begin weeks before Todorovdan, with families investing substantial resources in clothing, jewelry, and cosmetics for their daughters. Visual presentation represents a crucial element, as initial impressions significantly influence potential suitors' interest levels. Girls receive extensive preparation, including makeup tutorials, posture training, and instruction in appropriate social behavior during family interactions. Second aspect, family negotiation protocols follow established procedures that respect traditional hierarchies while allowing some degree of personal choice for young participants in matrimonial decisions. Male family heads maintain ultimate authority over matrimonial decisions, but mothers frequently serve as primary intermediaries during initial negotiations. Young people have supervised opportunities to meet and interact during festivals, and their personal preferences receive consideration, though they may not determine final family decisions. Third feature, valuation criteria reflect specific cultural preferences evolved across generations, including physical, familial, and economic factors that influence marriage negotiations. Virginity represents the most valued characteristic, followed by physical attributes including fair skin, height, hair quality, and eye color. Family reputation, absence of hereditary health problems, and domestic skills also influence negotiations. Families with superior economic status or social reputation can command higher compensation. Fourth element, payment structures have evolved to accommodate contemporary economic realities, including financing options that facilitate transactions for families with limited immediate resources. Historically, payments were completed entirely in cash during negotiations. Currently, many families accept deferred payment plans, where initial amounts are paid during engagement periods and remainder completed after marriage ceremonies. Some negotiations include material goods such as jewelry, livestock, or rural properties. Fifth innovation, modern technology integration has expanded these traditions' reach, with families using social media and messaging applications to maintain contact with geographically dispersed communities. WhatsApp groups and Facebook networks connect Kalidzi families across different European countries, facilitating event organization and information exchange about marriage-eligible young people. Some fathers have created social media profiles promoting their daughters to broader audiences, modernizing traditional presentation methods. Sixth dimension. Festivities associated with these events generate significant economic impacts on local economies, benefiting hotels, restaurants, and related service providers throughout the region. Annual festivals attract thousands of visitors to Stara Zagora, generating revenue for local merchants specializing in jewelry, textiles, and catering services. This economic dimension has created commercial interests that indirectly support continuation of these cultural traditions. Seventh characteristic, gender dynamics within these traditions reflect traditional patriarchal structures while revealing specific forms of female agency within particular cultural contexts. Although final decisions remain under male authority, women exercise considerable influence through family networks, matrimonial counseling, and interpersonal negotiations. Experienced mothers frequently serve as advisors and mediators, utilizing cultural knowledge to optimize outcomes for their families. These operational aspects demonstrate how traditional practices adapt to contemporary circumstances while maintaining cultural authenticity and community cohesion across generational transitions. Eighth dimension, education and preparation of young Kalidzi women for marriage includes specific training in domestic skills, social protocols, and cultural expectations that prepare them for traditional roles within patriarchal family structures. From early ages, girls learn traditional cooking, cleaning techniques, childcare, and household management. This training intensifies during adolescence, when many are withdrawn from formal education to concentrate on matrimonial preparation. Culinary skills, especially in traditional Roma dishes, represent important criteria in matrimonial evaluations. Ninth aspect, marriage ceremonies following successful negotiations combine ancestral Roma traditions with contemporary adaptations, creating elaborate celebrations that can extend across multiple days. Kalidzi weddings include specific rituals such as bloodied handkerchief presentations as virginity proof, symbolic gift exchanges between families, orthodox religious blessings, and community celebrations featuring music, dancing, and traditional banquets. These ceremonies strengthen communal bonds and reaffirm cultural identities. 10th feature, young wives' adaptation to new families involves complex integration processes where they must demonstrate domestic competence while establishing relationships with mothers-in-law and sisters-in-law within established family hierarchies. Newlyweds traditionally move into husbands' family homes, where they occupy subordinate positions until demonstrating domestic competence and, preferably, giving birth to male children. This probationary period can last several years and determines their definitive status within family structures. 11th pattern. Marriage success rates within these traditions reveal interesting adaptation and satisfaction patterns that challenge some external perceptions about arranged marriages. According to community testimonials, many couples develop genuine affection after marriage, similar to historical patterns in arranged marriages across other cultures. Matrimonial stability is generally high due to social pressures against divorce and community structures that provide support during marital conflicts. 12th development. Labor migration of Kalidzi men toward other European countries has created new family dynamics, where wives remain in Bulgaria caring for extended families while receiving regular economic remittances. This temporary separation has modified traditional gender roles, granting greater autonomy to women who manage households independently for months or years. Some have developed small businesses or economic activities that supplement family incomes, gradually expanding their social influence spheres. 13th trend. Young Kalidzi exposure to contemporary European values through education, media, and intercultural contact is generating generational tensions about ancestral matrimonial tradition continuity. Young people with greater exposure to external cultures frequently question aspects of family traditions, especially restrictions on personal autonomy and matrimonial choice. This tension is creating intergenerational divisions that could influence future evolution of cultural practices. 14th response. Government and international organization. Responses to these traditions reflect complex tensions between cultural diversity respect and fundamental rights protection, especially regarding minors. Bulgarian authorities have adopted cautious approaches, avoiding direct interventions while implementing educational programs designed to expand alternative opportunities for Roma youth. International organizations have expressed concerns about aspects of these practices, particularly when involving individuals under 18 years old. These familial and social dynamics illustrate how traditional communities navigate modernity while preserving essential cultural elements that define their collective identity and social cohesion. 15th transformation. Economic changes in Bulgaria are creating alternative opportunities for Kalidzi families that could gradually reduce dependence on matrimonial traditions as economic survival strategies. Bulgarian economic growth and European integration have expanded labor markets available to Roma with specific skills. Some young Kalidzi have found employment in construction, tourism services, and agriculture that provide stable incomes without requiring matrimonial negotiations. This economic diversification is creating alternative models for social mobility. 16th impact. International media documentation of these traditions has generated both cultural tourism and human rights criticism, creating contradictory pressures on Kalidzi communities. Documentaries, journalistic reports, and media coverage have increased global visibility of these practices, attracting curious visitors and academic researchers. Simultaneously, they have intensified international scrutiny and pressures to modify controversial aspects of ancestral traditions, especially those involving minors. 17th support. Community support networks developed by Roma organizations are providing alternative services including education, job training, and family counseling to facilitate gradual cultural transitions. Bulgarian non-governmental organizations have implemented specific programs for Roma communities, including adult literacy, vocational training, and reproductive health services. These programs are creating opportunities for Kalidzi families to access resources that reduce dependence on traditional economic strategies. 18th outlook. Future perspectives for Kalidzi matrimonial traditions will depend on complex balances between cultural preservation, economic adaptation, and European integration that determine this unique community's evolution. The younger generation faces crucial decisions about how much of their ancestral traditions to preserve while adapting to contemporary European expectations. Some families are developing modified versions of traditional practices that maintain fundamental cultural elements while eliminating more controversial aspects. As we have explored, life in Bulgaria reveals extraordinary cultural complexities that challenge simple perceptions about contemporary Europe. Kalidzi matrimonial traditions represent a fascinating example of how ancestral communities navigate tensions between cultural preservation and social modernization. For visitors interested in diverse European cultures, Bulgaria offers unique opportunities to observe traditions that have persisted for centuries while adapting to 21st century realities. The experience of witnessing these events provides invaluable perspectives on cultural diversity within European contexts. For Kalidzi families, these traditions represent fundamental connections to ancestral identities that have resisted centuries of assimilationist pressures. Their continuity demonstrates minority culture resilience and adaptation capacity without losing essential elements of collective identity. The story of Bulgarian matrimonial traditions illustrates how cultural diversity can coexist with European integration when mutual respect exists alongside understanding of complex historical contexts that shaped contemporary practices. But this is not everything you need to know about unique matrimonial traditions in Eastern Europe. In our next video, we will discover how arranged marriages function in rural Romanian communities. Don't miss this exploration that will expand your understanding of European cultural diversity. Which of these aspects about Bulgarian matrimonial traditions caught your attention most? Share your perspective in the comments and help others discover these unique cultural realities by sharing this video with people interested in learning about the true diversity of experiences within contemporary Europe.